So we're going to do something a little bit different today. I actually bought some new keycaps for my keyboard and it needed to be cleaned, so I figured we would sort of, I don't know, I documented the whole thing, I guess, because I've been watching a couple of like keyboard sort of YouTubers, I guess, like who build, mechanical keyboards, namely Hypotech, who is very cool, so if you want to check him out, I'll leave a link in the description for him. But yeah, I have currently a drop control and I bought it sort of secondhand off of eBay, and it already has some HyperX pudding keycaps on it, which are fine. I actually kind of like the way that they look. They're sort of like a half and half, like the top of them are all white, and then the bottom half of the keys are actually like sort of translucent, so that way the LEDs and everything from the keyboard kind of like shine through. I think it has like a really cool effect to it. I'm not sure if people even like putting keycaps in the keyboard community. I really don't know too much about it, but yeah, I bought a set. You've probably seen it just a second ago. I bought a set of the tools, I guess. They were pretty cheap. I just wanted to make sure that I had a switch puller because I don't think I had one. But it came with a keycap puller, a switch puller. It came with the little tool that you use to like hold the switches or whatever while you're supposed to lube them, and it came with a paintbrush, I guess, or like a little brush, that way you can apply lube to your switches. I'm not doing any of that. I don't have like a switch opener or anything, and I really don't want to go through the hassle of spending like an hour or more, opening up every single one of my switches and lubing the springs and et cetera, et cetera. So yeah, kind of my first time messing around with this whole thing. I don't think I've ever taken the entire keycap or the entire keyboard apart, really. But it definitely needed to be cleaned because I didn't clean it when I originally bought it, and it's been about a year since I've bought it at this point, so I kind of wanted to sort of take the time to just open the whole thing, give it the old like wipe down, and clean all of the gunk and stuff that's sort of accumulated over it. But yeah, let's speed up a little bit through some of this keycap removal because this is my first time using the keycap puller. It definitely helped out a lot, but I'm sure if you were persistent enough, you probably could just take them all off without having one, but it was helpful. It was nice, and I mean the tools were pretty cheap, and it came with the key switch puller anyway, so I don't know, it was worth getting. Alrighty, so now that we have all of the keycaps off, I have started the undertaking of taking the actual switches out. As you can see, I have sort of built a model of my own keyboard with the keycaps up there, so that way I can make sure when I put the new ones on, they all go on in the right order. I'm pretty sure Drop actually has like a keyboard configurator or whatever that I could probably use to like as a diagram or whatever to put them back on, but I just thought that this was kind of neat, and it looked kind of cool when I sped it up and everything, so that was kind of neat. But yeah, this was my first time ever pulling all of the switches off, and I do want to say the one thing that I would advise you to do that I was just kind of unaware of. I mean, I probably should have been a little bit more careful with it, but be a little gentle with these keys or these switches, because all of the ones that I have, because this is a hot swappable board and you can kind of just plug and play your sort of switches in there and everything, I was a little bit rougher with them, I guess. Like I was just kind of taking them out and then, just kind of tossing them to the side almost, and I definitely slid them across the desk a few times, and I think in the process of that I bent a couple of the pins on the back of some of the keys. It wasn't like or switches, I keep saying keys, but it wasn't an issue. I didn't break anything. All of the keys still work and everything, but I did have to bend some of the pins back straight so that way they would actually slot back into the holes whenever I was reassembling the board. So I would definitely recommend you be a little bit more careful than I was. But let's speed up through the rest of this, and yeah, we'll be back in just a second. Alrighty, so now at this point, we basically I went and grabbed some what was it? Just paper towels. I grabbed some regular paper towels, and I think I wet them a little bit to help sort of like wipe down the actual like metal part of the keyboard itself. I did use a little bit of duster to try to blow the keyboard out. It didn't work out as well as I was hoping. But yeah, I also didn't take the stabilizers off of the keyboard. The enter key, shift key, spacebar, all of those, like the bigger keys and everything, have stabilizers on them. I did not take those off because I was a little bit more, I guess, hesitant. I wasn't exactly sure how they were supposed to slot back in. I'm sure it wouldn't have been that big of an issue, but I definitely recommend not using paper towels with my board specifically. The actual like the plate of it and everything is like fully metal, and just like try trying to maneuver around the holes and everything, it ended up ripping the paper towel several times, and just kind of like got little paper towel fragments and shards everywhere, which, I mean, it's just, you know, paper towel, but it's not that big of a deal. But definitely, if you're going to, I would recommend using just like a regular rag or something. That way it's a little bit easier, and it's not going to tear apart on you. But other than that, it was pretty easy to clean, nothing too crazy there. And then yeah, we kind of just slotted all of the keycaps, or key switches, back in, and then yeah, we started assembling the board with the new keycaps. So let's look at that. Okay, so now, with all of the switches back in place, I started putting the actual key caps on. I'm confused now on whether I should call them switches or caps or whatever. Not confused, but I keep mixing them up. But anyways, so yeah, I've reassembled everything. Everything should be good to go. All of the, I did have to, you know, like I said, I did have to straighten a couple of the pins out on some of the switches, but I have got them all back into place. You can see this bag right here with the dark blue. I did try to mess around with those a little bit. I was like, should I use the dark blue for like some of the accents or whatever? So I tried to use the space bar on it, and then I think they had an F5 through 8 key that I also slotted into place, but I thought they were just too dark and they didn't really fit the theme that I was going for, because I liked the fact that they had the light blue ones. So yeah, ended up just going with the white ones and then the light blues, and then of course this was like it's like a 168 key set, so it comes with the numpad and everything, which my board doesn't have a numpad on anymore. Rip numpad. I still actually miss the numpad every now and then, but I think this is a 75% keyboard, right? If it doesn't have the arrow keys and everything, it's 60%, I think. So yeah, I don't know. No numpad for me. Big rip, but oh well. But yeah, let's zoom past this, and then I pretty much just have like a little sound test for you with the new keycaps on it, and then we can pretty much wrap this whole thing up. So hope you guys sort of enjoyed this, I guess. I don't know, a little bit different. I had fun kind of just building a keyboard and everything, of course. So yeah, I don't know. We'll see. Maybe I'll do it again in the future if I end up buying a different keyboard or something, but probably not anytime soon. So yeah, thanks for watching. Enjoy the sound test. I'll see you guys later.